A little bit of a slow start. There we are. Ahí estamos, mi gente. Dime lo que es la que hay, and welcome back to another live interview here on Gonzalez Media TV on Millions. As always, it's your host, Jose G. Make sure you give me that follow on all the social media platforms at Jose G Official. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Gonzalez Media TV. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited for my next guest. He's getting ready for a fight next month, April 4th, and he's here to talk a little bit about it and talk about everything he's got going on. Right now, we got the one and only. Not only he's a boxer, he's also an MMA fighter. We got the one and only David Waddell joining us
Yes,
for a live
sir.
interview. What's going on,
Yes,
Bobby? Happy
sir.
Friday, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. And also, before I say anything, I just want to appreciate you for saying my last name correctly, because
Oh,
a lot of
I
people,
got it from the
a lot,
first get. I
a
love
lot
that, bro. I
of
love that.
people butcher it. I'm telling you, a lot of people butcher my last name, and you said it perfectly. So I just want to say I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, you know what? Anytime I pride myself on pronouncing people's last names correctly. So you're very welcome, David. Man, thank you so much for hanging
Yes,
out,
sir.
man.
I
So,
appreciate it.
David, before we get started with our conversation, where can the people follow you on social media, man?
You can check me out on Instagram at stepper803 underscore dot David Watt at David, and then you can check me out on YouTube at David Waddell, and same as TikTok, David Waddell.
Let's go. Let's go, mi gente. Show your love over to David on not only just Instagram and all the other platforms and here on the Millions app as well. But
Yes,
David,
sir.
man, talk to me, man. So you got a fight coming up in the next couple of weeks, April
Yes,
4th. Tell
sir.
us a little bit about that, man.
So it's a backyard street beast event, the OG event. I've been out there once before last year. I'm going out there again this year. I plan on going out there a couple times, but I plan on making it to the event in a couple weeks in Virginia. Lord spares my life, everything goes good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, don't know who I'll be fighting, but of course I'll be fighting about 145 weight class. I usually try to stay around that weight class. Anywhere from 135 to 155 is my range. So if you watching, you in that class, watch out. You know what I'm saying? Keep a
So,
lookout.
David, man, so I see that you're a boxer. You're also an MMA fighter. When did you decide you're just kind of bouncing between both of them? But are you eventually going to pick one lane and stick to it? What's that looking like for you?
All right, so I started off boxing first. That's what helped me. That's what motivated me to lose so much weight and all that. I started off
I
boxing,
saw that. Well, I'll
and
ask you
then
about that a little bit later. Yeah, but I saw that.
yeah, and then when I started doing landscaping, I met a dude who's now my brother named Caleb Rice. Most of y'all might know his brother Devon Rice. He just won a championship in the cage fight in North Carolina. But so he's an MMA guy, and I was like, man, we clicked just like that. You know what I'm saying? We clicked just like that. We end up leaving the landscaping job together. I mean, we train together still to this day. We wrestle together and all that. Cause I told him, I said, I want to start off boxing because you gotta get your hands right before you can get in there with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, wrestling and all that's fine, but I feel like I wanted to start with my hands first, and then generally, my end goal is to switch to MMA. That's my end goal. I
Right.
want to finish everything off in MMA. Um, sorry about my
No, you're
baby. That my
good,
baby in the
man. You're
background.
good,
He
bro.
he a
It's
little
all
cranky.
good.
But yeah, that's my end goal. I love to win championships in boxing and all that, but my end goal is to make it to the MMA scene, UFC, big stuff like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you
Worldwide.
want to use boxing as your foundation and just build off of that. I like that, man. I like
Yes,
that. I
sir. Yes,
listen.
sir.
I mean, I come from a wrestling background, but I definitely respect that. Having that striking foundation. Because I mean, if you can keep him away, he can't take you down, right?
Right. Right. And then on top of that, if they think I'm just a striker, then they find out when they take me to the ground that,
And then you got
hey, the
wrestling
boy can
game
wrestle
too.
too.
Yeah, I like that, man.
Yes, sir.
So break it down for me when
Yes,
you're
sir.
when you're stepping into a boxing ring compared to stepping into a MMA cage. What's that mentality switch like for you?
Mhm.
How do you compartmentalize one sport over the other?
Mm. So I feel like it's different. Like the mentality I switch over, it changes up because when I'm in boxing, it's like boxing. You generally, I mean, you're not worried about one thing, but you're generally worried about one thing. You just worried about their hands. MMA, you gotta be on the lookout for knees, elbows, kicks. You gotta watch out for everything. So it's like when I'm boxing, I'm not as on my toes as I would be in an MMA match. If you understand what I'm saying, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like I
Which one
think
do
to
you
me
think is more
personally, I feel like
dangerous now that you've done
it's a
both?
lot. It's a lot. MMA, of course. MMA. I say it's more. I mean, of course, boxing has its fault. There's been, like maybe one or two couple casualties from boxing, but that's just because, legal blows to the back of the head, people getting hit too much,
Yeah.
and the ref not
Yeah. Yeah.
stopping the fight. But in MMA, it's totally different. It's totally different ball game. Like if the ref don't stop it while you ground and pounding that dude right then and there, he could die. Seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
you can lose your life in both of these games, but I feel like MMA is way, way more different, more
I
dangerous, more
definitely
dangerous.
respect that, man. I definitely respect that. Although there has been some MMA fighters, and and Joe Rogan's actually spoken to this on his podcast, where he feels that boxing is probably a little bit more dangerous from probably more from like a rules standpoint. Because, for example, like just like you said, if you're choking
Mhm.
somebody out and you're ground and pounding them, the referee can stop it right there. Boom, the guy's going to be healthy. But in boxing, if this, a lot of these big title fights, they don't have three knockdown rules. And, you get hit bad,
Mhm.
guy gets back up, hit back, gets back up, you get back, gets back up and it's all referee's discretion, right? So again,
Right.
it's debatable. It could be debatable, but I definitely respect what you're saying because
Most
listen,
definitely. Most definitely.
both sports are dangerous. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. Both sports are
Yeah.
dangerous.
You can't play fight. You can't play fight.
No, for real. For real. You can't play fight.
No sir.
Man, so talk to me a little bit now about what you're working on. So you're working on your boxing. You really want to make that transition to MMA. What are you doing right now in the amateur circuit and the amateur ranks to get to that level?
Well, May 9th, if everything goes well, I will be stepping in that ring for my first amateur bout.
Okay.
So and it's gonna be boxing. So what I plan
Okay.
on doing is doing a couple amateur boxing fights, a couple amateur MMA fights. Stay in the amateurs for a little while under both of them, and then hey, whichever one I feel more comfortable with going like turning pro. It's just all about the time and the patience.
So David, I was going through your Instagram, going through your bio, getting ready for this interview today, and I saw that you've had an incredible weight loss journey. Used to weigh
Yes,
over
sir.
300 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Boxing saved your life. Tell the audience a little bit about your story and your journey and how you shedded all that weight because you look absolutely shredded and amazing, my
Appreciate
friend.
it, bro. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Um, so for those of you, if y'all, I don't know if y'all any of y'all know about me or if y'all seen me before any other interview or anything like that, but so at a young age, I, I, hey, I suffered from depression, um, and everything like that. Mental thoughts and things. And then on top of that, we moved from my hometown to where I'm located now. And then my dad ended up passing away of cancer.
Oh man, sorry to hear that,
And
bro.
I was like 15, 16 when he passed away. I'm
Oh,
21 now. But of course, it's still hard. Losing your parent at a young age like that, you don't get to grow up with them. I mean, especially if it's your father. That's
yeah.
somebody that's supposed to teach you how to shave and all that. He never got to teach me that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
So
man.
one night, I ain't gonna lie. This might get a little graphic, a little rated R for some of y'all. One night, I was contemplating on suicide. Um, I went outside, got stuff ready. I was about to hang myself essentially, and then my brother came outside out of nowhere. I don't know. Of course, it had to be an act of God. My brother came outside and he called my name, and I didn't respond because I was contemplating, and he called my name again, and then I went up like I dropped what I had. I went over to him, and we was talking, and he was just talking to me about real man to man stuff. Even though at that time I was a teenager, I wasn't a man, but certain times we gotta grow up quicker than what we are supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's just life. It just happened that way. and then we was like selling appliances. We used to sell appliances like fridges and stoves and all that from out the yard. And all those were still in the yard after my dad passed away. So one day I just went out there, no gloves, none of that. I just started hit, boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about denting up the fridges and all that, bare hands. And I was like, I just looked at myself and I was like, man, I don't want to be this person no more. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to be depressed. I got people around me that look up to me. Little nephews, nieces, and I was just like, hey, I seen fighting. I found fighting, and then I stuck with it. I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is me right here. Like, hey, let's get it. But I mean,
Man, so
essentially,
your
that's
journey
basically
right
it.
now is pretty much you've been on your own, right? Your fighting journey, just kind of like
Oh
training
yeah,
on your own. Have
all
you
on
had
all on my own up until I'll say up until the end of last year, the beginning of
okay?
this year, when I got my brothers put me on with the dude named SpongeBob. He's from Street Beefs. Ever since then, he's been my right hand man. He's been helping me with my footwork. We be sparring together. I go to Colombia. We do all that. We get right. So I mean, everything been solo dolo so far.
That's awesome, man. And now that you have a coach, is been able to kind of like or help you out with your footwork, help you out with your striking, kind of get things a little
Yeah.
bit cleaner, kind of
Oh,
fill
yeah.
that hole where you didn't know you had that hole. Has he been able to help you out with that?
Oh man, most definitely. I'm telling you, when I got so many videos lined up. I just dropped a video the other day, and the crazy part is that video is from 2025, like the end of 2025, and people just texting me telling me they could see the improvements and all this and that. And I'm like, y'all think y'all can see the improvements in that video? I said that's from last year. Wait till y'all see the video from last month when I got invited to a gym in Colombia, and I was sparring with pros and other amateurs. Hey, your boy's working. That's all I can say is I'm working. So I mean, yeah, he's definitely helping me a lot.
So when do you think is going to be that moment for you when you're how many fights do you think you need to have under your belt before you kind of go pro?
Mm, MMA or boxing?
Both.
Because I feel like I want to go pro in them possibly the same time
Okay.
or around the same time. Uh, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I told people at the beginning of this year I plan on fighting at least 15 times this year. I done did like I think two, so I got a good little minute to go. I got fights lined up, exhibitions and all that lined up. So I'm saying probably at least I want to have at least not even it doesn't even have like. Of course, I'm not looking to take no lessons. I'm trying to catch all the W's. I'm not trying to take no lessons. So if I go undefeated or when I go undefeated, I'll say probably like at least 10 and 10 per.
That's solid. That's a solid record to go in as a pro, man. I've talked to a lot of guys that are, just starting with their pro career. Probably got 5, 6, 7, 7-0, and that's what they did. They just got 10 fights, and boom, let's get to work, man. Now,
That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking.
if you're more successful in one sport than the other, will you pursue that particular sport?
Yeah, yeah. But see, I feel like how I'm looking at it, because like I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I could do. I feel like I'm gonna just be great in both of them. Like I'm literally probably I'm telling you, I'll be one of those people where people be like, dang, he's a great MMA fighter, but dang, what if he was still in boxing? How many championships he would win? Dang, he's a great boxer. But if he was in MMA, how many people would he be knocking out? Right? Like, hey man, I'm gonna be one of those greats.
You're
I'm
trying
speaking
to
of
be like
now.
Anderson Silva, great in the cage and great in
Hey,
the boxing
great
ring, bro.
everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere.
man. I respect that, man. I respect that. I
Yes,
respect
sir.
that
Yes,
hustle.
sir.
You got youth, but you got that youth behind you, so you can definitely put in that work now. By the time you're in your mid 20s, late 20s, you're rocking. You're
Yes,
out there at
sir.
that pro level, at the elite level. Fighting on pay-per-views on streaming platforms like
Yes,
Million.
sir. Yeah, no more. Hey, no more backyards, and then
No
we
more
gonna
backyards. No more
put the
backyards,
ring.
David.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
bro, man, this has been an awesome conversation. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me, bro. One more time, where can the people follow you on social media, man?
Man, you can check me out on Instagram, stepper_803.david, YouTube, David Waddell, TikTok, David Waddell, El Palio, and then you can also catch me here on the Millions app at David Waddell.
There we go, mi gente. Show your love over to David on all those platforms here on the Millions app. Show me some love as well at Jose G Official on all my platforms. And make sure you also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Gonzalez Media TV. Appreciate you, David. Thank you, broski. Have a great weekend,
Appreciate
bro.
you, man. Yes, sir. You too, man.